So in this video, I thought I would do a little project for you here because what we want to do is we want to add some text to this rainbow design. And a lot of times we'll get designs and we want to add something to them. And this will be a great demonstration to show you how easy it is to do here in CorelDRAW and also with the extra tools here in EasyStone to make this process really simple. So what we're going to do to this rainbow design is we're going to add some text above it and we want it to say, "It's my birthday." So what we're going to do here is grab our three-point curve tool and we're going to follow these stones along the top, making a little curve because we want the text to actually be applied to that curve. So you can see how simple it is. The curve itself doesn't need to be exactly uh, perfectly curved to the original stones. You can see here it's not exactly perfect, but that's okay for what we want the curve for the purpose that we're going to be using it for. So now here's my little tip, my little trick for you. I'm going to type out my word that I want. So I'm going to do "It's my birthday." Okay. And now we have to pick a font. Now, the challenge that we always have when you're working with TrueType fonts, in particular TrueType rhinestone fonts, is we have a finite area that we can have the text fill. And a lot of times when you're using a particular font, we like the style of a particular font, but because of the wording that we're using and the space that we have available, sometimes that font most often is too big or sometimes too small. And so that's what I want to demonstrate, how you can quickly tell, is this text going to fit in the given area that we have, um, without doing a lot of work. So let me show you how this works. We're going to open up our font manager here in EasyStone, and we're going to go over to our rhinestone fonts. Now, the font that I want to use in particular, I just can find it in the list here. It's this one right here. So I'm just going to click on the Boys Are Gross font and it changes it, and you can see it says "It's my birthday," right? Now there's some gaps here that we want to go ahead and take. So in this font we don't have an apostrophe, so that's why you see an A there for the apostrophe. So we're going to delete that. And then we have this larger gap in between our wording. So we're going to click on our text spacing tool here and see that little icon there. If you hold your shift key and click, that will change the spacing between words. So get that spacing between words like you think you want it. So now that's taken care of. And now here's the trick. We need to find out, is this text going to fit in the given available area? And we can do that pretty simply. So our first inclination is, well, we want to use this text with SS10 stones. So what we'll do is we'll come up here and we'll pick our SS10 stone size, which in this case is 3.4 millimeters. And when I click on Resize Font, it will automatically change all these circles. If I select a circle and you look over here in EasyStone, you can see it's 3.4 millimeters. Now, when you look at this text, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see visually that this text is much too large to fit this rainbow. All right, so there's nothing you can do about it. The way this font was created, it's just too big for the given area. But there is one thing that we could do. So all I did was just back up one step. I just hit Control Z to back up one step. There is something we could do though. We could choose a different stone size. So the first inclination is always to use SS10s because it's just easier. And if failing that, well, let's see if we can use SS6s. So now if we'll take a look at it, now that actually looks like it might actually be manageable. We still don't know for sure if it's going to be manageable or not, but we know one thing's for absolute certainty, and that is it's not going to work with SS10 stones. So if we want to use this particular font, our only option is to use SS6 stones because it's the only thing that could possibly work. So I'm going to undo one step again. Okay. So now we have our text. And if we click right here, just underneath this rainbow, watch what gets picked. There's nothing there but that arch that we created. Because we're slightly inside that arch, that curve, it will pick up that curve. Even though we're not actually clicking on the curve up here, we're just clicking in the middle of the curve. Because we're crossing that plane, it actually picks that curve up for us. And that's very important because we're going to select our text, hold our shift key, and click right here underneath our rainbow to select the curve. And then we have this great tool here, which is our text to path tool. So you just click on that. It places the text. You can see that now we have our text placed. And now what we're going to do is we're going to select our text and we're going to scale it. And we're going to scale it as big as we think it's going to fit here. Now it's a bit difficult to see in this video, but there's a little red right here. There's red right here. There's a little red dot, and we're going to pull that up like so, because we need to pull this away far enough away where that part of the Y is not going to interfere our rainbow. So you just pull as far away as you want. Now you see that red line vertical right dead center? What that's telling you is that now the text is centered left to right on the curve that we drew. Okay, that's what it's telling us. All right, now the curve that we drew, if you look here, it's not straight across. In other words, the curve starts here and comes down over here. So we actually need to, if we want it centered on the design, we actually should probably go a little bit to the right. Maybe that's too much. So you just kind of play with that till you get it how you want. But now you can see that our Y is away from our rainbow. I'm going to pull it back this way maybe a little. Okay, get it the way you want to. Now we have it the way we want to. Now we can actually see if this is really going to work. And so now that we have our text selected, just click on Resize Font. And what it's going to do is going to change all those circles to perfect 2.6 millimeters, which is what we use for SS6 stones. So we click on that button. And sure enough, look at there. It did slightly make it bigger than what we had it. But sure enough, it actually is going to work just fine for us. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to come in here, use that freehand selection tool here. So everything that's inside the blue dotted line gets picked up. And we'll come back over here to Easy Stone and change those stone colors. And we'll back out a little bit. Actually, let's grab that curve because we don't need it no more. And we should put in our apostrophe. So I'm just going to grab one of these stones and drop in our little apostrophe. And then we will add a weed box. And there you go. It's my birthday. So you can see, really not that complicated at all. Once you understand what you're doing and why you're doing it, you can create and add to, an already good looking design. I had a little text or extra design elements there to make it your own. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you learned a little bit more about how to work with your TrueType fonts, and of course how to work with this font manager and the tools within the font manager to make it working with those TrueType fonts super, super simple. Thanks for watching.